All right. As I said, we're going to have a few different guests for Muppet Christmas Carol. It is a very popular movie. And today's guest is my friend Joe Boccia Jr., actor, director, jack of all trades in entertainment. How you doing, Joe?
I'm good, Colin. How you doing, man?
Good, good. I'm really glad to have you here because I know Muppet Christmas Carol is something you're very enthusiastic about. So,
Oh yes, it
yeah,
is probably one of my favorite Christmas movies, in the top like three of my favorite Christmas
right,
movies.
right.
So
So
yeah,
what else is up there for you?
got to be Die Hard
Hmm.
and White Christmas.
Oh, White Christmas. Okay, you see, mine is Black Christmas. So there you go.
The original
The
White Christmas.
original, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh my, what a movie! That movie's still scary even in 2025. Like,
Yeah, I don't scare too easily, but when I see Black Christmas and like that icy feeling that it's just so you feel the cold really well, and then those phone calls start coming in, yeah, it still gets to me.
yeah, and it's such an invasive film. Like
Yeah.
you feel safe at home with Christmas, right? But
Hmm.
here it's like the John Carpenter's Halloween for Christmas, where you are not safe like on your holiday.
Hmm.
And that is there's nothing more terrifying than that, dude.
Yeah, so Muppet Christmas Carol, I'm assuming was this your first Christmas Carol?
Yeah. This is
Okay.
this is what introduced me. I'm a massive, massive Muppet fan. I mean, the Muppet
Hmm.
movie is in my top like 15 favorite films of all time. So
Yeah.
it's really important and Paul Williams score, funny enough. But when I
Hmm.
was like I don't know, like 3 or 4. I had the VHS of the original cut with Love Is Gone. It's very
Hmm.
important to
Yeah.
say. And I watched it when I was 3. And I just remember being terrified, but also being like energized and like galvanized and laughing and
Hmm.
just all like a whole gamut of emotions just like swept through me. But what about you? Was this like one of your first or?
Actually, no, mine was the Mickey one, the Mickey Mouse one.
That's a good one too. That's a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're probably around the same age. I was born in 1992, which is when this Muppet
So was
Christmas
I.
Carol came out.
So was
Yeah,
I.
okay. So we are the same age. That's what I thought. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so Mickey was on TV every year, and I was like 3 or 4, and Mickey was on. I think I was 4, and I recorded it. I remember that first time watching it. It's like, oh, okay. I think my parents had said, oh, it's a Christmas Carol. You'll like this, because I hadn't seen any of them before, but I liked Christmas things, obviously. I was 4 years old.
Yeah.
Watched that, and I watched the Muppet one not too long later, but I know when I watched the Muppet Christmas Carol, like I was very aware of A Christmas Carol and what it was. So I don't think it was even like my second or third. I think I was pretty familiar with it by that point.
Yeah, yeah. Mickey's one is great. Mickey's one is tight. It's
It
like
is.
it's. I mean, I think Muppet's Christmas Carol is really tight, but I
Yes.
think I think for Mickey's Christmas Carol, it takes the breadth of like the emotion and the scope and really hammers it down into how long is Mickey's? Like maybe like
25. Yeah,
yeah,
25.
that's what I thought. That's and you still feel the impact of Scrooge's
Hmm.
journey, Scrooge McDuck's
Right.
journey. That's so interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be tough because I've seen a lot of 25-minute ones, and some it's just like, all right, you're stretching just for this. Like some of them can't even get anything in there, and
Oh
others
yeah.
I'm like, oh, give me a full 90 minutes. But yeah, Mickey's is tight and it works as a 25-minute
Yeah.
short. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Muppets was your first, but you already, I'm sure, like Sesame Street, right? You were familiar with the Muppets by this point.
Massive,
Hmm.
massive. Jim Henson
Yeah.
is like in my top 10 favorite like idols of all
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I watched the original Muppet Show. I had it on VHS, so there was
Yeah.
tons and tons of copies. You know how many seasons there were, so there were
Yeah.
tons and tons of copies. And like I said, the Muppet movie from I think 1978 or 1979
Right. Right.
was on like rotation throughout like my childhood. I would watch it.
Hmm.
Rainbow Connection is like probably my favorite song of all time,
It's
probably.
a great one. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a huge, massive Muppet fan.
From as long as I can remember, there was something Muppet in my life. Like I watched Sesame Street when I was really little, and like my parents would have been the age where they wouldn't have quite grown up with it, but they were like familiar with Sesame Street. They liked the Muppet Show, so I was watching these things very, very early. What's funny is for what you have with Muppet Christmas Carol, I was with Muppet Treasure Island. I watched that thing all the time.
Oh man, Tim Curry. That was the
Yeah, and
first. That was probably the first thing I saw with Tim Curry. I think.
I'm trying to. It probably was for me too, but yeah, that's like really nostalgic for me. And Christmas Carol is too, but Treasure Island I'd like owned and watched over and over and over,
Yeah, yeah.
probably to an insufferable degree.
That's how you know that something's gonna last.
Hmm.
If you, there's nothing wrong with rewatch. I watch my favorite movies over and over and over again.
Yeah, yeah.
And Muppet Treasure Island. Scared me in that was the black spot. Terrifying,
Yes, yeah, yeah.
terrifying. The blind guy. What's his name? Bucci,
Blind Pew. Yeah.
blind. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
played him. I played him in a play actually.
Oh
I
wow.
played both him. No, no, no. I played the guy who brings in the chest in the beginning.
Okay.
And then I played the guy on the island. And
Hmm.
I can't remember their names. It was
I
years
think Ben
ago.
Gunn is the guy on the island, right?
Ben Gunn, and then
Ben
I
Gunn.
played the guy that brings in the chest that starts the whole
Might
like
be Black Dog, but I'm not sure. It's been a while.
yeah. Anyway, I just remember being terrified of that
Yeah.
blind Muppet. And
Hmm.
was that Mr. Deadly? Who was that? Do you know?
Yeah, I think it was Uncle Deadly. Yeah,
Uncle
that
Deadly.
sounds
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Terror.
Because a lot of the Muppets in Treasure Island, and there's a couple in Christmas Carol, well, the ghosts obviously were created for that,
Yes.
which is I
Yes.
think smart with certain characters, and that's what one thing I love about Christmas Carol is all the ghosts are created for that and then also never used again.
Exactly. And like
Mhm.
even like, the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come, he's that Reaper, but it's like this giant, massive
Yeah.
puppet.
Hmm.
It's like Carol Spinney and like Big Bird.
Hmm.
It's like evil, dark, like Big Bird in a way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's what's really cool about their literary adaptations. And it seems like a lot of people today, and I mean, I would agree with this, is people want more Muppet literary adaptations because these two are so beloved.
Well, I don't know if you're up to date, but people want a Knives Out Muppet thing.
Yes, Ryan Johnson said that.
They
Yeah.
and I think that would be amazing. I mean, obviously you would
Hmm.
have Benoit Blanc, but everybody
Hmm.
else would be a Muppet. So you already have your human character, and
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
else can be. It's like it'll be Clue for
Right. Right.
Muppets. It
Yeah.
would be so great.
Absolutely.
But I agree. I think that Muppets should be in everything and everything.
Hmm.
Like all my favorite movies, I want a Muppet The Apartment. I want a Muppet It's a Wonderful Life. Like let's just
Yeah.
add
Yeah.
more and more Muppets. And apparently, the rumor is that Sabrina Carpenter is doing a Muppet special.
Okay. That makes
So
sense.
heard that, and then the
Hmm.
other thing is that Jennifer Lawrence and Emma Stone are working on a Miss Piggy movie. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if that one is like in the works or greenlit. I think the thing before that is going to be a Sabrina Carpenter
Okay.
Muppets, and I'm
So
just
there are,
happy.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were saying.
There are people who are spiritually Muppets, and I feel like Sabrina Carpenter is one of them.
Yes, I
So
think
that absolutely works.
I think that she will get along with the whole group. The best like live action Muppet actors don't treat them like puppets.
Hmm.
Treat them
Right.
with seriousness as if they're talking to someone, and that's when you really feel the immersion. If you've seen like the Vincent Price on like Sesame Street,
Yes.
or you know what I'm saying, or like
Yes. Yeah.
even like James Gandolfini, or just like any of
Yeah.
these guys that just really take it seriously. You're brought in, and I
Hmm.
think that's really special. And Michael Caine, I
Yeah.
mean, we will have to talk a whole lot about Michael Caine. I want to get
Yeah.
into that, but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, one of my favorites, and we won't talk about every Muppet movie, but Charles Grodin in Great Muppet Caper.
So good.
Yes.
I just love Charles Grodin to be. I
Yeah.
mean,
Big fan.
Midnight Run's a masterpiece, and even that
Heartbreak
one
Kid.
with
Yeah.
in Great Muppet Caper. Oh my god, dude, so
Yeah.
good,
And
so
you
good.
fully believe he's into Miss Piggy. He's
I
great.
know, I know.
Yeah.
He's just
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
And Diane Rigg, right?
Yeah.
This is the first. I mean, I don't think no. I mean, no one was expecting him to pass. I mean, no one.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and here is his son like taking the reins,
Hmm.
and a new Kermit the Frog voice actor stepping in, and you watch it, and there's such a grief to, especially those scenes with Tiny Tim and
Yeah.
Kermit as Bob Cratchit. You
Hmm.
just you watch it and you're just like, oh my, this is so devastating and heartbreaking. But they were able to make something really special out of it. I
Yeah.
thought, you know.
Yeah, that line about the first parting that's among us, like that's from the book, but it works so well in the context of the Muppets.
Yeah,
It's just heartbreaking.
yeah. And in terms of like from the book, now I'm not super familiar with the text. I
Hmm.
was in a stage production in college, and
Okay, cool,
I played young Scrooge. So that's like
nice.
my and all the other I guess adaptations that I've seen or watched, right?
Hmm.
So like, but apparently this is a really close adaptation. Like Gonzo is speaking like lines word for word verbatim. Is this true?
So in terms of quotes from the book, yeah, there are a lot. He does speak a lot. There are other times he speaks where it sounds like he's saying something from the book, but it's actually an original line.
Oh, that's really interesting. Well, then
So yeah,
it works in my opinion because
Yes, oh, I agree. Yeah.
I couldn't tell. I thought it blended
Yeah.
in quite well.
Mhm. Yeah, no, in terms of the story, there are more faithful adaptations of like scenes that they keep, but obviously it's Muppets. They have to include Muppet stuff. They have to condense a bit. But most faithful that I've gotten to so far is the George C. Scott one from 1984.
Yeah, yeah, I've heard that one's pretty good.
Now that's my favorite. Most people's favorite is either this or the Alistair Sim one. But in
That's
terms of
yeah.
just checkpoint by checkpoint, I think there are even more recent adaptations that are closer in just like checking off events that happen, but they don't feel as spiritually faithful to me.
Like Zemeckis.
I think the Zemeckis one is one. I think the Patrick Stewart is one.
Oh yeah, Patrick Stewart. Didn't
Mm-hmm.
he do a one man show of it?
Did a one man show, and then they did an adaptation for like TNT, so it's very 90s TV movie.
Oh,
But it's Patrick Stewart, so that's worth it alone. And Richard E. Grant is Bob Cratchit, so
oh wow.
yeah. So
Richard E.
those
Grant is
that two hander, yeah. Michael Caine, one of the I think in most people's minds, one of the definitive Scrooges, and I think this was one of the many cases where someone said, "I want to do something my kids can enjoy."
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that Michael Caine is my Scrooge, and I
Hmm.
think that I'll never see. I think that Michael Caine doesn't play it like he's in a Muppet movie. I think Michael
Right,
Caine treats the material like he doesn't wink
right.
or slapstick and all the if he does find bits of humor in it, it's completely grounded in like the environment and doesn't feel like he plays like the when he's sad in a Muppet movie. All
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
you are watching a world class performance in a Muppet movie, and I think that
Hmm.
not only does he take the material seriously, I think the movie takes the material
Hmm.
very very seriously. I just saw this film, the original When Love Is Gone
Right,
cut.
right.
I saw it at the MoMI with my friend, and this is what the hundredth time I've seen it, but like I just was noticing that it doesn't end on like a joke like One More Sleep Till Christmas is so beautiful and jolly, but the last thing that we see in that scene is the bunny like freezing. So it
Right, right.
never like strays away from the reality of the situation and the Dickensianness of this world. Like that moment where Gonzo and Rizzo are like, okay, this part's too scary. We'll see you at the finale. It's like, oh my God, they're not here. They're not going to make jokes at this moment because this is
Right.
something that we need to take very seriously. And I just that goes back to Michael Caine. I think Michael Caine brought an energy that everybody wanted to match. If you're
I think
bringing
so.
Michael Caine in your film, you got to
Hmm.
have the goods, right? He's probably one of the greatest actors who ever lived, and to have him is a gift. And when he's
Hmm.
giving you such jewels, and his bah humbug is, I've never heard a bah humbug like that, because bah humbug is usually like an expletive, like a bleh,
Right,
like
right,
a
right.
humbug. The way he does it's just like so internalized, and like
Yeah.
I've never, so like that's just like a little bit of like a microcosm of what this guy is bringing. Is he your favorite Scrooge, or George C.
He's
Scott is your favorite?
not, but I think he's great. George C. Scott is my favorite.
Okay, I'm gonna watch that
Okay.
in a couple days. I'll have to check it
Yeah.
out.
I love George C. Scott, how he brings such a humor to it. Like when he's saying humbug, 'cause it's tough to say bah humbug
I know,
genuinely, right? Because it's a cliche now.
I
And
know.
that's just because the book's so popular. So most of what he says with the more famous lines, like you see him like cracking a joke and then like laughing at his own dark humor about it,
Okay, I'll
which is much different.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna add it to the list actually.
Yeah, the George C. Scott one, it's my personal favorite. It's like I don't think there's a version that's absolutely perfect, but that one is so close in my mind.
Okay, I'm adding it.
Hmm. But yeah, Michael Caine is right up there. Alistair Sim, the classic 1950s one, is right up there too. So
Yeah,
there's
I've,
a
I've
lot.
seen the Alistair Sim one.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen
And
that
there's
one.
a remake with Alistair Sim too, which is like a Richard Williams animated short, which he voices him in.
Wow,
And he's actually closer to the age of Scrooge in that one when he did the voice, so it's even more like world weary. It's really nice.
that's cool. So
Yeah, but
what do you like about the Michael Caine one?
the Michael Caine one, I like what you say that he's bringing such a sadness to it. I feel this is the saddest Scrooge, I think, and I think the movie as a whole is surprisingly sad. I think it does tone down maybe the horror a bit, but in favor of sadness, which is kind of like an even swap, right?
Yeah,
So
and Yeah, and
He
I
is
think
so
that
sad.
yeah, it's very sad and solemn, and it's so much gravitas. But also, like we
Hmm.
said, like this is on the death of Jim, and that's
Hmm.
hanging over the entire production. It's
Yeah.
hanging over the entire production, and like you know, to go on to compare it to something. I don't know if you've ever seen the film with about the drinking, the Swedish film. Oh my God, what's it called? With Mads Mikkelsen. Have you seen that film?
No, I haven't.
Another round.
Okay.
Another round was a different movie before it was made. They were going to make this different movie, and then the director's daughter like died in a car accident. So
Oh.
so like the emotional, like whatever this movie was going to be, it became
Hmm.
something entirely different. And I don't know if you know like the pre-production for Muppet Christmas Carol, like
A little bit.
was Jim
No.
involved? Not at all.
So, not. I think it was already after he had died. It was just going to be a TV special, and so there's two Jerrys. Jerry Jewell wrote
Yeah,
the script,
Jared Jewell. Yep.
and it was going to be a TV special. And Disney, ABC, Bob Iger, whoever liked it so much, maybe Michael Eisner liked it so much, they said, you know what, let's make this a movie.
Oh,
That's
okay.
probably when they brought in, Michael Caine. And I've heard other actors were considered, but yeah, Michael Caine, when they landed him, that might have led them to reworking it a bit to be, Michael Caine wants to play this completely straight. And maybe that's how they always intended it too. But
Wow.
yeah,
Wow. Do you know if it was originally supposed to be like I guess more slapstick, you know?
I have a feeling, I haven't heard that confirmed, but I have a feeling because the ghosts were supposed to be played by Gonzo was going to play Christmas Future, Miss Piggy was going to play Christmas Past, and I forget who Fozzie was Christmas Present. Probably, maybe not. Maybe he was still Fozziewig because of course he had to be. But
That's terrible. Gonzo's Christmas Future takes
they thought
away.
it'd be funny with the nose sticking out of the hood.
Oh, yeah, I guess like if he doesn't
Hmm.
talk. I guess like if he
Right,
doesn't talk,
right,
I don't know. I think it works so well. I think it's masterful the way
right.
it, you know.
Yeah, so I understand why that is the first thought is, oh, Muppets doing a Christmas Carol, let's make it silly. So I've never heard it confirmed that it was going to be more slapstick, but just by that casting, I have to imagine it was.
Yeah, it's
But
interesting.
no, they it evolved over time and obviously into something that I think has probably lasted more than it would have had it just been a more comedic take.
I think so too. I think that
Mhm.
taking it seriously and keeping it educational. It's like Gonzo says, "Oh, this is culture," right? Doesn't he say something like
Right,
that?
right.
It's the it's like Animaniacs. Like
Hmm.
Animaniacs taught me about Goodfellas. Animaniacs taught me about Les Miserables. Like it
Hmm.
taught me about these things and West Side Story.
Right,
So like when you treat your kids not like Coco Melon dum dums, like I'm
right.
I'm serious.
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah.
why I like Gravity Falls so much because it treats the kids
Hmm.
like or if I or Spider Verse or something.
Hmm.
I and so this is like one of those examples, which is just like something that's like, okay, we know like kids love Muppets, but adults also love Muppets, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
and and kids can relate to Scrooge. They're not old like Scrooge,
Hmm.
but they can still like in their heart, they can still like relate to like his plight. They feel angry or they feel sad, and I
Yeah.
think that they don't sacrifice any of that in this movie. I think it's impressive, you know.
It is, yeah. That it's a fine line, and I think obviously with everything Brian Henson was going through, he was only 29 or 30 when he directed this. But I'm not
Yeah,
saying that's a baby, but still, that's still pretty young.
it's
And he
yeah.
does it deftly. It's a very well directed movie. It looks fantastic.
Oh my God. And watching it, dude, on the big screen today
Oh
and getting to see this world that was built,
yeah. Hmm.
it's tactile. You could like
Yeah.
smell this movie,
Hmm.
and it's elaborate, and there's all these different like Muppet designs and all these different like environments, and the camera work is really great too. There's like really like inventive ideas like during Belle and like Scrooge's scene. There's like a part where like Brian like goes through like the trees and the branches. Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about? And
Yes,
it's this
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
incredible sweeping, or
Mm.
like that scene where like Kermit is looking up at like the sky after singing One More Sleep Till Christmas. Like this is like aesthetically pleasing, but also like professionally done and handcrafted, and you know that like the Henson Company is just like the best of the best when it comes to like intricate like fantastical world building, and here they're able to like do that but meet it with a sense of like realism to create something that's like so potent and
Hmm.
textured and layered. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah, and yeah, it looks incredible whether you're on a small screen or especially on a big screen. I've not seen it on a big screen, which would be great,
Oh, you
but
you you
yeah, I need
must
to.
you must
Yeah,
find a
yeah,
way. You must
yes,
find a
yeah,
way.
yeah.
Yeah,
The dedication to the set design, and it's a fairly like little world that Scrooge exists in. It's just this little town mostly, but the whole point is he needs to be a member of society again. And it's
yeah.
this little neighborhood he's in London, obviously, but in the Muppet London, and he needs to befriend all these people. And there's never a difference made between Muppets and humans. They're just his neighbors.
I know, I know,
Yeah,
and
which I love.
well, that's what I was saying. Like,
Hmm.
just not treating them like they're puppets on strings,
Right, right,
and,
yeah,
and never treated them like puppets on strings. You know,
right, yeah, yeah,
so and yeah, well said, well said.
yeah. No, thanks. It's one of those things I've obviously thought about a lot because I've written a lot about it. I did another interview about it, so it's well loved by a lot of people.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like I said, it's not my number one favorite Christmas Carol. I have some nitpicks with it, but I get why it's so beloved as well. And I've been a Muppet fan all my life, so I love. There's not a Muppet movie I dislike, honestly. Like of all the main Muppet movies, they all have their charms.
Muppets in Space is a
That's the
little.
one. Yeah, I'm okay with that one. It's less funny.
Do you have a favorite song from Muppets Christmas Carol?
Christmas Carol. Oh, When Love Is Gone. Absolutely.
Tell me about that. Why?
Yeah,
Why do you love it?
it's uh. First of all, just Meredith Braun, who plays Belle, who I was shocked to learn was only 19.
Mm,
But
wow.
her performance, it's so moving. And then when Michael Caine comes in and is singing with her,
Oh yeah.
it's just so tear jerking. It's one of the best songs in any Christmas Carol, and there's a lot of musical versions, but it just breaks your heart. And I just can't believe that there are versions where it's cut.
It's crucial, Colin.
Yeah.
It is crucial for the
Hmm.
arc of this character for a couple of reasons, but I'll name two. Firstly, you have to understand the journey that he goes on to make him change. And this is so important to see. And if you see like the Disney Plus cut, she leaves and then it cuts to him crying and you don't and then Gonzo and Rizzo are crying and you're like, what's happening? Like, I've missed like a moment. How is this emotion earned?
Right,
And then
right.
the way Scrooge is during the Christmas present is like completely different. So if you don't see
Yes.
that scene, you're not going to understand why all of a sudden it ruins his arc by taking it out. Like it loses
Yes.
like the nuance of everything. So like that's like the first reason. That's like the big one. But then the second reason is the love we found. The last song
Yes.
is
Yes.
a reprise, and you are not going to understand contextually what it means that he's singing the same melody, but this time he has people in his life. If you do not see the heartbreaking and tragic song, it doesn't make sense. And like I think the reason was they thought kids were going to get bored. Again, I just hate this. I hate when we pander to children. I think that
Hmm.
kids can understand sadness. I think kids can
Yeah.
understand loss, and I think a kid being uncomfortable watching something like this is not a
Hmm.
bad thing, and it's not a bad thing to be uncomfortable watching a movie. You know, you're.
Right,
I,
right,
I mean, I don't think I think so. You know, that's just
right.
personal. You know, watching things when I was young, there's so many movies I hated when I was young. I didn't like them. I watched them and then I watched them years later and then I fell in love with them. You know,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just I just I wish we trusted kids more, and I don't know
yeah,
why we cut that out. It makes no sense to the
yeah.
arc of the movie, you know?
Yeah. To give it just a different example, I was obviously not a child when I watched this, but it's always the example I give is I was probably 18 the first time I watched Blue Velvet by David Lynch, and I'm just like, I
Masterpiece.
do not get this. I don't know what it's going for. I had to put it aside. I came back to it like 6 years later. I'm like, oh, this is a masterpiece. I was
Masterpiece.
just different. I hadn't gotten there yet.
Yeah, well that was me with Twin
I
Peaks.
needed to get there. Yeah.
When I watched Twin Peaks, I was like, I don't what's the
Right.
joke? Like what's the joke? And then I watched it years later while I
Hmm.
was touring doing children's theater through the Pacific Northwest. And
Oh,
that's when
wow.
I
Yeah.
watched Twin
Yeah.
Peaks in like the
Yeah.
hotel room and
Ah, yeah.
oh it was like seeing the face of God.
It's so good, and I think just in weirdly in a similar way, like David Lynch, you have to just realize he's not doing irony. He is that sincere. He
There
does
is
emotion so well.
well
Yeah.
I think that in 2025 or in this day and age, I think that sincerity is seen as a form of weakness.
I think
And,
so too.
and I think that people were in the culture of the meme and the
Hmm.
postmodern and the 6-7 and the all this kind and AI is not helping in my stuff, in my work, in my writing, in my music.
Hmm.
I am a completely sincere. I don't speak sarcastically.
Right.
I learned sarcasm from George Michael from Arrested Development. That is how I'm autistic. That is how I learned sarcasm because I am a completely like genuine person.
Hmm.
And here is Henson, who is like the most sincere person like of all time, and Lynch, the most
Yeah.
sincere person of
Hmm.
all time. And yeah, I just wish we had more of that sincerity in our work and our art.
Yeah, I was reading something not too long. I think it was for school because I'm in graduate school studying mental health counseling, and it was about like psychology and things like that. And it was saying that the difference between being modern and postmodern, and being modern is saying, oh, the cliche is love at first sight, so I'm not going to do the cliche. And being postmodern is saying, oh, this is love at first sight, like the cliche says. And I feel
Whoa,
like both can be dangerous.
whoa, that's so interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was really fascinating. Not something I expected in a counseling course, but yeah.
Wow. I gotta think about that because that that
Yeah.
that really opens my mind to like seeing things.
Yeah, and I don't mind like postmodernism as an idea, but I do
Mhm.
feel like sometimes we lose sincerity. We grew up in the same era where parody films were just like, hey, remember this? Remember that? Remember this? And that's not a joke. Like
No,
that's not it, yeah.
no.
And I love some parody films, but that era of just pointing things out, I think that really brought us down as a culture a bit.
Yeah, I blame Family Guy.
Family Guy and like with like those like disaster movie, epic movie, that kind of yeah.
Oh, awful. Although I like Scary Movie too. It
Right.
has a place in my heart.
Right, but those are the first scary movies I feel like are a little more sincere in their parody than the later ones, which are just like, how many references can we cram in?
And then like you've got like any of the Naked Guns, which
Right,
are completely deadpan, completely.
right,
Like
and that's the joke. Yeah,
that
yeah.
joke is that Leslie, Nielsen just has
Mhm.
an amazing deadpan. The
Right, right,
airplane's great too, and
right.
Hot Shots both, Part
Hmm.
Deuce and the first one. Yeah,
Right. Yeah, but I think that sincerity, and it's in every Jim Henson Muppet project, and I will say every Brian Henson Muppet project. And I think even though I like the post Henson Muppets, I mean I realize Brian Henson's still a part of it, but the one not directed by a Henson or by James Frawley, I think directed the original. But that heart, it doesn't quite feel there in the same way.
and
That early when Jim Henson was alive, and then the ones directed by his son, they feel like they have that heart. And sometimes the later ones, it's not wrong. They're just made by other people, and it's just not quite the same.
and some of them just don't write Kermit right.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it.
They don't write Kermit right. They don't understand
Hmm.
like Kermit. Like the first Muppet movie when Gonzo is singing "I'm going to go back there someday." Like,
Hmm.
man, dude, I'm old, you know. But that stuff still gets me, man.
Yeah, yeah. I think the 2011 one, I think what doesn't work for me is that it's that kind of legacy sequel where the plot is, hey, wasn't that first one important?
Yeah,
Like the events of the first movie or the Muppets in general are the most important thing ever. And then you're doing a self-referential plot at that point. I
yeah.
don't think that's what people like about the Muppets. I'm nostalgic for the Muppets. They're very sincere, but I like them as this theater troupe who are always putting on different shows.
That's such a great way. This like commedia dell'arte, like sort of
Right.
like pouring, like almost like the rude mechanicals from Midsummer Night's Dream.
Right,
You're
right.
just always
Yeah.
putting something on, and also
Hmm.
like I don't like the music in that Muppet movie. Like
I'm not a fan. Yeah.
Man or Muppet doesn't seem
Mhm.
respectful to the Muppets
Right.
in my
Yeah.
just
It's a different thing. It's just a whole different thing.
yeah, and I love Jason
Yeah.
Segel, and I can tell
Hmm.
he loves the Muppets. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I know I feel it. Um,
Hmm.
that's okay. That's okay. I'll excuse that film.
Yeah. No, it brought him back. It just exists in a post Henson world, and it's
I
just
know.
not that same sincerity. I was just watching, and I think this really speaks to the sincerity of Henson because there are barely jokes in it. Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas.
Yeah,
It's barely a comedy. It's
Yeah,
just absolutely heartbreaking,
yeah. What
and
is
it's
that?
beautiful.
What year is that? Like 85,
77, I think.
77. Yeah,
Pre-Muppet movie. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I haven't
Paul
seen.
Williams songs.
Yeah,
For my money, Paul Williams' best set of songs. I like it best of all of his.
you like it more than the Muppet movie, really?
When the river meets the sea is just that's my favorite Muppet song.
God, I have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, Emmett Otters. I haven't
It's
seen Emmett Otters in 20 years, dude.
yeah, I just was watching it with some people last night actually. So
Well,
it's so good.
that's amazing, dude. That's
Yeah.
yeah,
And
dude. Yeah,
and
and
there's no winking to the camera. There's a Kermit introduction which is cute and funny, but beyond that it's played completely sincerely and that's
completely.
why it works. And you would never get that unless one of those people who's like, "Oh, kids these days, movies these days, whatever." But you wouldn't get a Muppet production like that today because people would think, oh, it's the Muppets. It has to be for kids, A, and B, it has to be funny. And it is for kids, but it's also for everyone.
And there's such a patience to that film, you know,
Yes. Yeah.
which
Yeah.
like again back to this day and age, like we are in this TikTok time where you need to keep my attention now, and you
Hmm.
need to tell
Right.
a joke and a full story in 10
Hmm.
seconds. You need to get my attention, and I don't think that like, and I guess this goes back to When Love Is Gone, which is just a very like patient song, and you're
Yeah.
watching them sing and feel feelings, and watching Emmett Otters, it's just
Yeah.
like it is a patient movie. It does take its time. The songs are not as lively as some, and I think that
Hmm.
that you know people aren't. I don't know if if the next, I don't know, I don't know if the next generation could watch something like that.
Yeah. I mean, there's still plenty of long movies that come out and do well. Like, I mean, Killers of the Flower Moon is a long, patient movie, and I think
Master.
did well. Weird to talk about in a Muppet context, but it did well, and it was a long, patient, trying movie, and it was worth your time. So is When Love Is Gone your favorite as well, or is it a different song?
No, it's probably Feels Like Christmas.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I think that because like you know I don't like Christmas. Like I love music and I
Mhm.
love the decorations and I love the movies, but I don't like Christmas. I don't like what it represents. I don't like religion, whatever.
Right.
So, but this song is what Christmas is to me. It
Okay.
is where you find love. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? There is Christmas is there. Christmas is
Hmm.
there. Christmas is not there,
Right. Right.
in
Absolutely.
just in my opinion,
No, sure,
and
sure.
so that song captures what Christmas means to me, and I just think it's a great like melody. It's an amazing arrangement. Like Paul Williams just absolutely knocks it out of the park, and then to just see like Michael Caine's face. Brian Henson like trusts Michael Caine in this movie.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
trusts that he can hold focus on this guy's face, and you can be drawn in, and that Michael Caine will bring it, and you could just see it in his eyes. So to see like it from my perspective, to see the whole thing, and then to see it from like Scrooge's perspective, there'll just be times when there's just holding on Michael Caine, and it's like
Yeah.
that is so like impressive and technically like so like interesting, something that you won't like find like so many cuts nowadays, not in all movies, not in all
But
movies,
yeah, in kids' movies particularly.
but in
Yeah.
kids movies, cut to this, cut to this, cut to
Hmm.
this. But this just really really trusts him, and the gravitas is really brought there, and then eventually he smiles and he starts dancing with
Yeah.
the ghost of Christmas Present, and you're like, oh my god, this guy's loosening up, and like, and you kind of
Hmm.
feel good like when he smiles in this movie. It warms me because he doesn't smile for the entire film, and then when he finally smiles, like it's just
Yeah.
Michael Caine is just he's got such control of like his craft,
Yes. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
yeah. So it feels like Christmas is my
Okay.
favorite. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And there's another reference to maybe not deliberately, but wherever you find love, and they had When Love Is Gone and then When Love Is Found. So this is a step in that process,
Exactly.
and cutting it out is really taking away.
Exactly. That's what I
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
thematically, and
Yeah.
there's such a Brechtian quality to this movie, in that it
Hmm.
knows that it's a movie. It'll break the fourth wall. You've got
Hmm.
musical numbers, and I just think that, you know, there's that moment. Well, you know all these moments, but there's that moment when he's singing with a thankful heart, that he actually like says Merry Christmas to Rizzo and Gonzo, and it's like at
Hmm.
that moment you're just kind of like you feel like like you've just been acknowledged as well, and you feel like
Right, right.
this man who's smiling, who has this red scarf, that red scarf. That's my favorite
No, it's
moment.
beautiful.
That's my favorite moment of the entire movie because
Okay, wow.
I love the way that Kane plays it,
Hmm.
and he's never gotten a gift, and he feels like so touched, that was a little tangent, but yes, like I absolutely like 100% agree. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love that you said about it being not, not a religious thing, but it's saying Christmas is however you want it to be, right? And that's
Yes.
honestly a whole lot of that is from the book. People, I think, probably expect the book to be it is preachy, but not in a religious sense. It's
Yeah.
very on the nose, but I think people expect that it's this really Jesus-y book, for lack of a better word, and it's not. Like
Interesting.
it does mention obviously the religious nature of the holiday, but it's more we're all in this together. I mean, Fred says this in a lot of versions. I can't remember if it's in this, but in the book, he says it's, that one time a year we all remember that we're all on the same path, basically. We're all fellow passengers to the grave.
Yeah.
And Scrooge says humbug because humbug means that's fake. He says you're only saying that one day a year because it's Christmas. And the whole point is you need to feel that way every day of the year. We need to be looking out for each other every day of the year. It's not a sermon. It's a look out for your fellow man. And if you have means, you have to use them to help each other.
Yeah, and I think now of all
Yeah.
times is that's what we need.
It
Let's get.
is. It
I'm
is. Yeah.
I'm gonna go into it. Everybody knows what I'm talking about, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I love one thing about the book, and there are parts in Muppets where it gets this right, and there's another part where I think it misses it just a tad, is that Scrooge is not corrupt as a businessman. He is as very clear in the book, Scrooge is a man of his word.
Yeah.
If he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. He's cold and he's cruel, but not just for the sake of it. He follows the letter of the law.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of versions miss that. I think Michael Caine is trying to play it that way, but he's a little mean at the beginning in a way that feels a little over the top. But I get kids have to understand what they're doing, right? So
Sure.
it's understandable. But in the book, Scrooge is a man of his word from the beginning. He's not a mustache twirling villain. He's not over the top in that way. There are far worse people than Scrooge, but if Scrooge is breaking the law, anyone could read the book and say, "Oh, I'm not like Scrooge." But any of us can be like Scrooge. We can all think we're doing something right, but we're not going above and beyond. And there's a great song in the George C. Scott version where they sing, "Grant us all a change of heart." It's not just Scrooge. Like we all need to look at ourselves and see what we could change.
Yeah.
And I think that's why Scrooge is such a great character when you put aside the cliches, which Michael Caine completely does here.
Oh man,
He's a cool human.
I love Thankful Heart.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I love it. And you don't need to
Hmm.
sing well. It's just, I don't need to hear, freaking
Hmm.
whatever, Andrea Bocelli. Like,
Right, right. Yeah.
it works. Like, I'm
Hmm.
moved by it. And some great lyrics. If you ever want to judge a man, you simply count his friends. Like, oh my
Right.
God, it's just like
Yeah.
what this movie preaches is such a beautiful, tender thing, and it's a tight 85 minutes of the Love
Yeah.
Is Gone cut. Tight
Right.
85.
Right. Yeah.
And it packs so much, and you really feel like you could change when you watch this.
Hmm.
Like you
Yeah.
just
And
really feel like if Scrooge can do it, then I can do it. It's not too late.
right, right.
I'm still here. And I just think that that's
Absolutely.
so so beautiful. And also, like, we should talk about how funny this movie is. Like,
Yeah.
do you have like a favorite like comic
Hmm.
moment or a line? Because I've got so many that I could
I
talk
think I
about.
wrote it down, so let me see. I think I probably wrote down my favorite. Yeah, it's when Gonzo says, "I knew you weren't suited for literature" to Rizzo.
Gonzo has amazing delivery in this. There's
Hmm.
this. There's that part where the ghost of Christmas Past is flying, and Scrooge is hanging, is holding on, and then
Hmm.
Gonzo like swings the rope, and Rizzo's like, "What are you doing?" Nothing. And he's like, "What do you mean?" Just hang on. Just
Yeah,
the way that's delivered is such funny. Like that is
yeah.
such funny delivery. Also, Miss Piggy is so funny in this. Like,
Hmm.
there's this one part where all the way at the end when Scrooge is like, and therefore, Bob Cratchit, I'm going to raise you. And then Piggy goes, and I'm about to raise you right off the pavement. That is such a funny line delivered. Like Frank Oz absolutely destroys, like
Yes,
absolutely
yes,
destroys.
yeah,
Miss Piggy's always, I mean, she's an icon, but
yes.
so many, and you know what, nothing, no, there's no comedy with any of like any of the supporting, not the Muppets, but like any of the, we get a little comedy with Sam the Eagle, right?
Hmm.
Just like a little, right? But like
Yeah.
really, if you look at like the story, there's no comedy in the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come. None. There
No,
really isn't.
no,
And there's no comedy with Belle.
no,
Nope.
no.
There's some comedy with Fezziwig,
Yeah.
Fozziwig.
Yeah.
It's like you really think about this, like the way the humor is used in this movie is so like within the context and grounded in the story. You don't, I mean, obviously there's singing fruit, but like
Right, right, right.
but other than that, like really, like I was watching it today and I was like, wow, the comedy is really just from like the narrator. It's really just from Gonzo and
Yeah.
Rizzo.
And
Really.
yeah, and in the book, the narrator is also very funny. Like the jokes aren't the same, obviously, but
Uh,
the narrator makes a lot of jokes in the book. Like he goes off on tangents. It's very amusing.
wow, that's so interesting.
So yeah. I mean, there's still fourth wall breaks, but like not in the same way that a traditional Muppet movie would have.
Sure,
Like you
yeah.
say, it's all in that, it's grounded in that world. So yeah,
Mhm.
I agree. The humor is weirdly, for the Muppets at least, kind of subtle.
It's like restrained.
Yeah, they hold back, which, and I know, if it had been a traditional Muppet Christmas Carol, like yeah, things would have been going wrong, or like they would have joked about like the ghost costumes not being good, but it doesn't break the fourth wall in that way.
Unless it's Statler and Waldorf
Statler
saying,
and Waldorf, yes, yeah.
yeah.
And there is a great joke, and I can understand why they cut it, but it's in the TV version, and I've seen like a clip of it on YouTube where Michael Caine is being haunted by Marley and Marley, and they start their song, and he's like, "Come on, boys, can't we go back to being funny?" Like
Wow.
referencing just in universe how dark it's getting, and I get why it's not there in the actual movie, but also it makes me laugh. It's
Michael
very
Caine,
good.
that the
Yeah,
character.
Michael Caine says that. Yeah,
Wow.
which might be his only like joke in the movie.
He
So
doesn't, if you, the Marley and Marley scene, Michael Caine takes it completely seriously.
yeah, yeah,
You don't criticize me. You always criticize me. It's like,
right, right.
holy moly. Just Marley and Marley is just like that moment. There's like, with their little frosted teddy bears. Oh. Again, it's like, it will say like a joke, but it's like the opposite of like a Marvel movie. It won't cut the tension of like a dramatic thing with like a joke.
Right,
Instead,
right.
it will make a joke and then say like, no, actually, this is very serious. People are dying and it's really poor. There's this
Yeah.
line that the Bunsen Honeydew has. The doctor takes his. You know what I'm talking about when he's like talking
Mm.
to Scrooge, like in the beginning. He says, "And the doctor, he sure takes his." I'm just thinking
Right.
like about like healthcare. And I'm thinking about like
Yeah.
us, like our generation, like even now, like back then, like if
Hmm.
if they are commenting on it now, it's like this is such a universal, no pun intended,
Yeah.
universal like subject. But it's like they'll really like gut punch you with a lot of like things like that, and that's
Yeah.
just like a perfect example that it is not afraid to step back and be restrained and to make serious of the very serious elements of the story.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think you're right in that. Yeah, the jokes that the characters make are always in their voice, and it's something that person would like. Even Scrooge says like, "Oh, Cratchit says tomorrow's Christmas Day. What about these eviction notices?" And he's like, "Well, you can gift wrap them." Like that makes sense as something he would say. It's a
Yeah.
joke, but it still fits in universe with the Scrooge we've come to know.
How about when he says, "Imagine the grocery bills"? To
Right. Right.
so that's grounded in character because
Yeah.
this is a
Yeah.
man that has learned to love the money. So of
Hmm.
course he's gonna think of all the whatever 1,800 brothers and sisters.
Right.
His thought is
Yeah.
going to be money, 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 money,
Yeah.
money. But he's changing now, right?
Hmm.
Because now he's being a little bit more jolly and he's seen like his past. But like
Hmm.
even then, it's like that joke is something that he's traumatized into making from PTSD from
Hmm.
growing up. I think that is that in the
Yeah.
book. Imagine the grocery
Yeah. A
bills.
version of that is when he says, I think, and I have George C. Scott saying it in my head, so I'm second guessing if it's actually in the book or just him saying it. But he says over 1,800, and then I think Scrooge says tremendous family to provide for.
See, that's what I'm saying. If that
Yeah.
is in the
Right.
book,
Yeah.
then that is so wonderful because that is so tragic
Mhm.
and still so like grounded within the world and the character.
Absolutely. Because, yeah,
So
it's what Scrooge would think of in that moment. And it's also funny, but it's what he would think of as, yeah, how are they getting by financially? So,
exactly.
yeah, right. And they never break that with Michael Caine here. Even the goofy dancing, which I know some people don't like, I had to adjust to it. I'm like, okay, I see what they're going for here. This is the
What
first
for the Christmas present dancing?
Christmas present. At first, when
I
I
love.
was like watching this 10, 15 years ago, I'm like, That's not a Scrooge thing," but it is because he hadn't danced in so long.
I'll let it slide.
Yeah, it
I
makes sense because he's so awkward. Yeah.
and he's so awkward, and this is like he's seeing like kindness for the
Hmm.
first, and it's like he's changing. There's like this infectious energy, and just like the Ghost of Christmas Present is like so like calming and like present, and there's
Yeah.
like you let down your guard because this guy is so like jolly and wise, so.
Hmm.
And just like to see Michael Caine move like that, just from a personal, I just think
Yeah.
it's just so sweet.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. For sure. And I don't know if Michael Caine's like talked about it a lot in the years since, but I know it's something he's very proud of, which he should be because it's such a sincere performance.
Yeah, yeah. I think I haven't seen a lot of interviews. He seems to love the Muppet, that bunny Muppet. He likes
Bean
that
Bunny. Yeah.
he
Yeah.
likes Bunny a lot. So
Yeah.
you find some like behind the scenes footage of him just talking about that bunny, which is kind of cute.
That's great because I know that there was a joke kind of on set that they found Bean Bunny a little annoying, so they would always put him in the most like traumatic situations, like give me the door shut, and
Oh man.
But he is cute. I think it's because he was kind of a crossover from a different, like he started with his own special, right? I think,
Yeah, yeah.
and then yeah,
He's
but
great. I think that's right in the
yeah,
world.
yeah, and they need a little boy for those scenes, and then they already have Robin as Tiny Tim, which just adds to the heart of it because you already know who Robin is. So
Exactly. And also like, okay, another like Tiny Tim is treated with seriousness.
right, right,
Like he's coughing and
hmm,
there's nothing. There's no, because before he shows up, there's jokes with like Miss Piggy and
right,
Belinda,
right,
like there's jokes, right?
yeah,
And she's eating the chestnuts or whatever, and then Tiny Tim comes in, no jokes,
no
right?
jokes, yeah,
And it is just like that, and again, like with Jim passing and stuff, and I just think that they wanted to treat this stuff as seriously as possible, and like there will be joke, like there'll be these Brechtian jokes where it's like Sam Eagle says it's the American way, oh it's the
right,
British
right,
way, or there's that part where Bean Bunny is like, what me? That is what me, sir? Like it's just kind
yeah,
of like, they have to remember that they're in like a Dickensian like novel,
right, right,
But
yeah,
again, these are few and far between. It treats the
yeah,
serious moments serious. It knows where to put the comedy. There's not too much comedy that doesn't distract from the serious, dramatic moments. There's not too much drama that distracts from the Muppety elements. It's like really well balanced, in my opinion.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, and the Muppets usually, again, until a certain point, I would say, did that so perfectly well. Like Muppet Family Christmas is that too. Like it's funny, but it's so sweet.
Yeah, the
And
Wizard of
there's,
Oz is okay. Have you seen Wizard of Oz?
yeah, it's
It's okay.
fine. Like
Quentin Tarantino's in it. It's really funny. It's really funny.
I saw that when it first was on TV, and I was like 13. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of funny. And I went back and watched it a couple years after that. I'm like, it's all right.
Well, Prawn is Pepe is
Pepe,
a creep. He's a creep.
yes, he's a lot. They
He's
just, yeah,
he's like the Pepe Le Pew of like the Muppets.
yeah. And there's times they can use him well, and other times he's like the main character.
No, he's a creep. He's a
He,
creep.
he he's in Muppets in Space a bit too much too.
Yes, of
Yeah.
course.
But in small doses, I can take Pepe. But he's a Muppets Tonight creation, I believe.
Yeah.
Right. So he wasn't around yet for Christmas Carol, which is good because he doesn't fit in this world to me. So
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, we're both from the '90s when Gonzo and Rizzo were like as important as Kermit and Miss Piggy to the Muppets, which I always miss when they're not in more recent projects.
Yes. Rizzo. I mean, Rizzo is like an
Right.
unsung hero.
But we need Gonzo and Rizzo again because they're as much a part of it as Fozzie and Kermit and Miss Piggy.
Yeah. We need Gonzo. We need Grover. Let's get Grover in there.
Yes. Yeah, so Muppet Christmas Carol. There are other things you wanted to bring up about this specifically. I
Wow.
know it's something you can talk about for a long time, which is
We
fine.
really we've hit so much.
Yeah.
I love Paul Williams' score. I love the
Hmm.
arrangements. It's just like so warm, and all the like brass section, and like it's just beautiful. I love the world building. I love the cinematography. I love the puppet work. I love the performances. I think my favorite character. I don't want to say Scrooge. Scrooge is great.
Right. Sure.
I think
Sure.
my favorite character would be maybe the Ghost of Christmas Present.
Yes. Yeah.
I really like him, and when he
Hmm.
shows up, and just like and again, I was in this stage show, so I can compare a lot of things like Joe, that's
Yeah,
just in the stage show. I'm not sure if it's in the book, but
it is.
his
Yeah, yeah.
his blankets, that was in the show I did. So it's like
Hmm.
it's great to like compare and see like, are there no prisons? Are there no poorhouses? Right?
Right, right.
It's like, oh, that's a line, Like there's more
Hmm.
of grave than grave to you. That's not a Muppet line. That's in the
That's
book,
this
right?
Dickens line. Yeah, yeah.
So it's so nice to know that and see like
Hmm.
what is translated and what isn't. And I just think it's a very special film that I think
Hmm.
everybody should watch. I
Yeah,
think,
and I love that old Joe in this is a spider. Like he's got an arm in everything, which
yeah,
is in everybody's business. Like thought is put into every piece of casting. Might seem a strange word, but it's true. Like the
no,
bankers are pigs because they're described kind of grotesquely in the book
exactly,
because they're
exactly.
these fat cats essentially, and they're like they're Muppet pigs, and that's great. And then yeah,
Ugh,
the spider. And then obviously you got to cast your everyman as Bob Cratchit. That's every franchise. That's Mickey. That's Kermit. That's the Jetsons.
I know. It's a neutral Kermit. It's a very neutral Kermit. Actually, I don't know if I like most some line readings. I don't really dig from Kermit
From
in there.
Kermit. Okay.
This is a line. He goes, "This was a tiny Tim," and he like
Okay,
has a.
that one always got me too.
And I was
Yeah.
just like, "That's not that's weird. Why are you saying it like that?" So but
I
then
think
again,
he almost forgot his name. Yeah.
he was stepping into big shoes. So I will.
Yes.
I'll forgive it. I think that Miss Piggy is amazing. I wish she was in it more, but
Hmm.
they don't. They leave the audience wanting more. Like she comes in, she steals the show, like right, like Miss Piggy always does.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, casting is just
Hmm.
amazing and great pacing to this movie. It goes and it goes and it goes, and then all of a sudden you're at the end. You're like, how did I get here? This is just a whirlwind. I think the music really ties everything together nicely
Hmm.
and keeps you engaged for the runtime. You know,
Yeah.
Paul Williams. I'll still always think that it's interesting. Okay, so I think that Paul, this is a better like score in terms of like woven into the narrative
Right.
than it is
Right.
for my movie. I do. I
Yeah.
think that because this is like a song that moves one point to another. Moving right along is like they're driving, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or like, can you picture that? What?
Yeah.
That's what are those lyrics? What is that?
It's
Like
just a band song to get the band in there. Yeah. Yeah.
it's just a band song. It doesn't, Rainbow Connection like is the I Want song, so it kind of
Sure.
works.
Sure.
Like Miss Piggy's like never before, like like it's just like. But here it's like Scrooge is introduced, or Scrooge song. Marley's introduced, Marley song. Oh, there's no
Right.
music for a while. Let's take this very seriously. It feels like Christmas. Okay, now we're getting like the theme. Scrooge is changed. Oh, I'm sorry. Like When Love Is Gone, and
Right.
then
Right.
present is okay. So Scrooge is changing this point. Oh, bless us all. Oh, very interesting. Okay, then we're in Ghost of Christmas Future. No songs, completely serious again,
Yeah.
right? And finally, you're out, and you get to thank a thankful heart and the love we found. So I think that
Yeah.
each song like moves us along, and I cannot say that about the Muppet movie as much as I think that movie's a masterpiece.
That's fair. Yeah. And in addition to the songs, just the score is really pretty here, and it really
Really
fits.
pretty,
Yeah.
really pretty, and it
Yeah.
just kind of it like envelops you. It's like a
Yeah.
blanket. Yeah.
I think the one thing, and I'm not to tell Paul Williams what's what, but I think if they had added like an actual song to the Fezziwig party, like you need a fun Muppet song, and there's not a fun Muppet song in this.
I think so. Well, they do have like animal playing and like all that, but
Right. Yeah.
I would, of course, I think Fozzie should have a song, one hundred
Yeah.
percent.
Yeah.
Like,
I
of
just
course.
because there's so many, like even the up tempo songs are kind of mid tempo in this. Like, just give me one. Give me a moving right along. Give me a barbecue from Emmett Otter. Give me something.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I forgot. One more sleep till Christmas. That's another
One
one
more
that.
sleep till Christmas. Yeah.
That's,
That's my favorite like Christmassy feeling song in this because it's so I love the visuals and that when he's looking up at the stars.
yeah, and the Penguin Christmas Party was an influence on my latest album that I released, Penguin Party.
Oh,
It's a
oh,
reference to the Penguin Christmas Party, so that
that's lovely. Yeah.
means a lot to me. Yeah,
So when they're sliding on the ice, that's also right from the book.
really.
Yeah, they say Bob Cratchit went down the slide at Cornhill a dozen times in, tribute to it being Christmas.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
Which they don't usually keep that, but yeah.
No, but like it's so great that they were able to just pay such respect and just
Yeah.
use the text as much as possible. So
Hmm.
that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's again, it's so sincere, and that's why I think why it holds up, and that's what I love about so many versions is you get Mickey's Christmas Carol, which again, people probably thought it was going to be sillier, and
Sure.
it's this completely straightforward. There's jokes, but it's a straightforward, sincere adaptation, and even Scrooged, a comedy version, which I have my issues with, but the Christmas Carol narrative in Scrooged with Bill Murray is played completely straight. It's a
I,
completely sincere transformation.
I haven't seen it in a while. It's actually on the list. I think I'm gonna
Hmm.
actually watch it after this, actually,
Okay.
because I know that I know Bobcat Goldthwait's in it, and he like mumbles a lot, and he's like really annoying in it. I remember that, and like
Yeah, yeah.
Carol Kane's in it. I just feel like I'll like it now. Maybe I don't know. So I'm really excited to watch Scrooge. Actually,
Yeah, there's parts of Scrooged I love, and there's parts that I'm like, okay. But the again, the Christmas Carol narrative is completely sincere, and you
great,
find that with so many comedic takes on the story, where no matter what they were attempting originally, the story just has that heart to it, where they end up playing it completely straight, and it holds up all the better for it.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. So, one question that I asked Liz and Ian, we did this last week. What classic literature would you want to put the Muppets in?
Can it be something like dark and serious if I wanted, like
Absolutely. Yeah, whatever you want.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest with Muppets. Okay, yeah.
But McMurphy has to be Jack Nicholson.
Oh, keep Nicholson. Okay, yeah.
I have to keep Nicholson. I don't think any Muppet could be McMurphy, but
Right, right.
Miss Piggy could be Ratchet,
There you go. Yeah, I
and
see it.
Kermit can be Billy.
Yep. Kermit
Ch-
can.
Cheswick could be Gonzo.
Yep.
I'm telling like Chris Lloyd's character could be Sweetums. I don't know.
Sweet. You get
Oh
Fozzie
no,
in there for sure somewhere.
Sweetums is Chief. He would be
Yeah. There you
Chief.
go. Sweetums
He's
is chief.
freaking giant, you know? Like
And then the
anyway,
rats are the orderlies, right? Yeah.
exactly, exactly. Wait, what about you? Did you have one?
I had one, and I talked about this with Liz and Ian, and I was saying Muppet Maltese Falcon.
So who would be Sam?
Rizzo is Sam Spade.
Really? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
so
And
noir.
then
He's so
I,
noir.
I can't remember if I pitched a human or not, but I had Rizzo as Sam Spade, and then I said you have to have Sam Eagle as his partner who dies. And I had Bridget being the one human. So I said I forget who I said, but yeah, have Bridget be the one human character.
So you wouldn't want to keep Peter Lorre then?
Oh, if we're talking actors who were alive then, yeah, Peter Lorre's basically a Muppet. But if I was casting it today, but yeah,
Oh well, I mean, I'm casting it
right,
in the '70s because I don't want Nicholson now.
fair. You want 70s Nicholson, fair. Yeah, if we're doing the 40s, yeah, okay, yeah. Peter Lorre is so Muppety, you kind of have to keep him.
You need him. You need
Yeah,
Peter Lorre
yeah,
there.
yeah,
What a great question, dude. What about
yeah.
like what about I got one for you. What like a musical that's not this. What I don't know if you
Mm.
know a lot about musicals, but what would you make if you wanted to make a Muppet like musical?
A Muppet musical. Let me think what musical I would like best with the Muppets. All right. A lot of my favorite musicals are very serious affairs. Like I don't want Muppet Fiddler on the Roof.
That'd be crazy.
That'd be a little much.
That'd be
I mean,
Fozzie.
it's been
That'd be Fozzie
Fozzie.
as Tevye.
Fozzie.
A
I
fiddler
would
on
love
the roof.
like they've done so many versions of this, but I think it's the only other way it would work is like Muppet Willy Wonka.
I love it. I think
Yeah,
it's great.
yeah.
I think that that's beautiful, and Willy Wonka's a
Hmm.
masterpiece.
It's a
So
great movie. Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that that would be an incredible. That's a great. Well, who would you? What human would you keep? Would you keep Gene Wilder?
Probably keep Gene Wilder.
That
Keep
just
Gene
makes
Wilder or keep Charlie Bucket.
yeah. Well, I
Hmm.
mean, Robin could be Charlie Bucket. So
You're right. Robin could be Charlie Bucket. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. That's. I think I would do like something like Guys and Dolls. Like I can't do West Side Story, and I can't do like Sweeney Todd. Like I can't do that for like the Muppets. As much as I
right, right.
love to see the Muppets Company, or to see maybe Little Shop. Actually, Little Shop.
Well, yeah, true. Or 30 Frank
Little
Oz. Yeah.
Little Shop. Kermit and Piggy stay. Kermit is Seymour. Piggy
Hmm.
Audrey, and then you get like Bryan Cranston as Mushnick. You know what I mean. You get that, or you
Yeah.
get like younger Jim Carrey as like or like the
You
dentist,
get the dentist. Yeah, yeah.
like just something like that. Like I think that
Hmm.
that, and obviously there's a Muppet already because Audrey too is a Muppet, so
Yes.
you don't
Yeah.
even have to recast it. You know?
Yeah. Another movie, Muppet adjacent, obviously, that when you cut certain things from it, it's a completely different movie.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
the theatrical release of that, it's not a very good movie by the end.
and not like the original musical. In
No,
the
no,
original musical, Audrey 2 wins. So,
right. But the
like,
Frank Oz director's cut of that movie completely transforms it.
yeah, like when can that go to theaters? Like when can I go see
Oh,
that?
I'd be there day one.
Like I like that if we can get Love Is Gone,
Yes,
we can get
yes,
this. And
yeah,
what a great ending! Like the miniatures of the buildings as Audrey 2 is like
yeah.
destroyed. What a great ending, dude.
So much fun. Yeah. And Frank Oz he's one of those directors who I feel has a history of getting screwed over by the studio.
I think so. Yeah.
So that one in particular, because you take out like 15 minutes of a movie, just, oh man,
And well, they didn't want they wanted it to be a happy ending. So
happy ending. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. When Love is Gone, it's not a 15-minute cut, but it's so
crucial.
central to it. Yeah. And
Crucial.
I'm always surprised there's a debate over it at all.
No, I just think people just don't want to listen to a ballad. Some people just
Yeah.
don't want to listen
Yeah.
to a ballad. That's their problem. You know.
I believe it was Jeffrey Katzenberg who wanted it cut.
Damn, he
And
made
he
a
also,
decision like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Damn.
You know what else? You know what else he tried to get cut
What?
famously?
What?
Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid.
He also didn't really like the Goofy movie, which is probably one of my favorite Disney films of all time. So, I can't really trust Katzenberg.
Like Eisner also made some bad decisions, but I feel like he still always wanted to make the best product. It wasn't just thinking, how do we make money?
Yeah, yeah. Katzenberg is the Scrooge of,
Right, I think so.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Eisner wanted to be Walt Disney like in all the ways. He wanted to introduce the wonderful world of Disney and he wanted to be the face of the company for better or worse.
yeah.
He cared about it.
Yes, no, I agree. I'm a big Disney nut.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I think yeah, I grew up in the 90s so I saw there was Disney was everywhere. It was just nonstop.
yeah.
And the Muppets by Disney is the one thing that I'm like, well, Jim Henson wanted that. Like they were reaching a deal when he died. So it wasn't just them buying everything.
No, I don't think they've done anything good
No,
with
no,
it. So I'm not going to say that, but I
no.
think that they're it's okay belonging there. It's like the Looney Tunes are owned by Warner Brothers. They haven't done good stuff
I
with it
know.
for like 30 years. But,
Yeah.
obviously we're getting Coyote versus Acme, which I'm so
Yes.
excited
Finally.
about.
Yeah.
And the Day the Earth Blew Up was really great too.
Okay. I
Um,
need to see
but
that. Yeah.
it's good. I think Coyote versus Acme is going to be like the
Yeah.
Roger Rabbit of our generation. Like I just,
Okay.
but when you have the Muppets, use the Muppets.
Use the Muppets. Yeah. And
Yeah,
I think what it always comes down to for me is Jim Henson was such an innovator.
yeah,
And when he died, they made those two literary adaptations, which aren't like completely pushing the thing forward, but they're still innovating in their own ways.
sure.
And I think post that, I think when you get to Muppets from Space and onward, they stop innovating and they start being a nostalgia brand. And I think that's where it fails.
Yeah,
And I like plenty of Muppet projects from 1999 on, but I don't think they were innovating because Jim Henson was just always working at how can I make this more interesting and different? What can I do next? He was always on to his next thing. And that's why he was really excited for Disney to do the business end and he could just innovate. And I just feel like Disney hasn't let them innovate in the last 25 years. And that's kind of why they're a nostalgia brand. And I think people just write them off as for kids, which is disappointing.
I think it's sad that like Jim really believed in Labyrinth, which I don't want. I don't like Labyrinth. I mean, I don't like
It's
that
a
movie.
lot. Yeah.
I don't like it. I think it's creepy. But the world building I love. I love the voice performances.
Mhm.
I love Bowie, even if he's a freaking creep in that movie.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
so
And Jennifer
so sad.
Connelly's like 14. Yeah.
It's really weird. It's really weird.
Yeah.
But let's go, Robert Eggers. Come on, baby. I'm just saying that like, Labyrinth was ambitious, and so
Mhm.
was Dark Crystal, which is
Right.
better than Labyrinth. It's like Lord of the Rings of Muppets. It's
Mhm.
freaking amazing, that movie. But just like these things didn't pan out. They were not. It just feels. It breaks my heart that he wasn't able to reach a wider audience with bigger like ambitions. You know
Yeah, because he was only like 50 when he died, so it's so
that
much lost potential.
so much.
It's all very sad, and then it's just amazing how much he accomplished in that time.
Yeah, yeah, he
And
did. Oh, I have a question for you. If
yeah,
you were to do a Jim Henson biopic, who would you cast as Jim?
okay, I got to think about this one now because
Yeah,
you'd have to do it a certain way. Like saying I don't think he's an actor. Like saying Brian Henson is too obvious.
I can't
Hmm,
act. Maybe he can act. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think he's a Muppeteer, so I'm not going to say Brian Henson.
Let's say this is like an Oscar picture winner.
Okay, right, like an Oscar caliber biopic, like a
Yeah.
Love and Mercy kind of thing. Okay. Um, okay. Like the first thing that pops in my head, and probably just because I've been thinking about him recently, but he's not American, is Matthew Rhys.
Yeah, I could see that.
But it's a weird choice.
No, I think that that's a
Yeah.
very. He's got his face is a little like doggish for Jim,
Yeah.
but I think with
Yeah.
a beard, maybe it could. You know,
Hmm.
it's funny you just mentioned Love and Mercy. I think Paul Dano would be really interesting as Jim, and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
who I really think is Glenn Powell. I think Glenn
Okay.
Powell with give him a freaking giant ass beard.
Right. Right.
I think he looks like a little bit like Jim, a little bit. You know,
Interesting. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's what I was saying. There is a Muppets movie, Muppet. It's called The Muppet Man, I think, or something about Jim
Okay.
that has been floating around on Blacklist for decades now. Um,
Okay.
so someone's gonna pick it up. Maybe I'll pick it up. Maybe I'll make it. You know, I don't
That'd
know,
be great. Yeah.
but like there is a script floating around. I would just love it if it's a respectful to Jim.
Mhm.
I would love a Jim Henson biopic personally. You know,
Yeah. And you got it. The thing about a biopic like that is you have to capture his vision in a way that it's not like a greatest hits biopic. Like this guy sure was cool. It
you,
can't be a Bohemian Rhapsody,
you
it can't be a
biopics suck.
so
Okay,
many.
you need to focus on one period of his life. Think
Hmm.
about Love and Mercy, right?
Yes.
It's the making of Pet Sounds, and it's
Hmm.
later with
Yeah.
Elizabeth
Yeah.
Banks. Love and Mercy is the greatest music biopic of all time.
Yeah. No
Uh,
question.
anyway, but just to say is like you focus on one, so it could be like a period of him getting Sesame Street made, you know, up
Hmm.
until that point. It could be a period of him getting the Muppet movie made, you know, like it could be that, you know, it could be him trying to get Dark Crystal made or Labyrinth. You take
Hmm.
that, that's the movie. I don't want to see him
Yes.
born, and I don't want to see him die. I don't
Yeah.
need to see a scene of fucking Jim Henson in a bed dying in
No.
a
No.
hospital. I never want to see that. What I
No.
want
Yeah.
to see is a movie that follows the journey of this creative, gentle giant of a man
Mhm.
who is unlike anyone else and just radiates kindness. I want to see that
Yeah.
movie. I want to see him pursue his art and succeed. That is the movie that I would make, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, you have to really tap into how the creative process works. And if I don't learn something about how the creative approaches the creative process in your biopic,
Yeah.
like what's the point? So many biopics I'm not a fan of because they don't really tap into that. They're just, here's some things that happened to this person.
I could name good biopics on one hand, and that's all.
I absolutely loved, and I know it's not for everyone. I absolutely loved the Robbie Williams biopic, Better
Oh,
Man.
the Better Man.
Yes.
Really, really fun, right?
Yes, I was amazed because it was a full-on musical. Now, do you think a Jim Henson movie should be a musical?
Uh, can I write the music?
There you go. You and Paul Williams.
Me and Paul Williams will get together. Yes, I think
Yeah.
that's ambitious. That is
Hmm.
ambitious. The Jim Henson musical, like that is
Hmm.
wonderful. I my favorite like biopics are like Love and Mercy or Steve Jobs, which is just
Okay.
three different acts and the same
Hmm.
characters coming in and just like I think that movie's like an incredible like biopic.
Okay.
It's really hard to get a biopic that really captures the artist without being like
Yeah.
A to Z storyline, you know?
Especially if it's a really talented artist who's a very likable person. If it's
Yeah.
like someone like who's unskilled, like Ed Wood, one of my favorite
Oh, I
movies,
love Ed Wood.
but he's not a talented artist. He's
No,
passionate, but that's
no.
the way it works. Or I love like there's a couple of biopics of historical figures I love, but that's a different beast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Malcolm X or Oliver Stone's Nixon.
Yeah, yeah. Ed Wood's great, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Ed Wood's amazing.
My favorite Johnny. Speaking of Johnny Depp, it's my favorite Johnny
Yes.
Depp performance. I think he is
Not even close. Yeah.
remarkable in that film.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
think that's the way to do it. But no, this has been really fun talking about this. Really glad we were able to do this. So thank you for joining me.
hey man, this has been such a blast, dude.
Absolutely. And thank you everyone for listening. And on next week's episode, I'm going to be doing a little wrap up for this season. So thanks for listening. Scrooge, a Christmas Carol podcast, is written, edited, and hosted by Colin Murr. Theme music is Christmas Day by TRG Banks. and TRG Bank Snowfall is also used for interstitial music. Leaving a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify, as well as liking, commenting, and subscribing on YouTube will be a big help to me. You can also back me on Patreon for early episodes, bonus episodes, and the right to vote in polls. Link is in the description. I'll be back next Wednesday with another episode of Scrooge, a Christmas Carol podcast. Until then, make sure to live in the past, the present, and the future, and ensure that the spirits of all three strive within you.